Closed captioning provided by Community Hospitals Indianapolis. One more way to show you've got our attention. You're watching TGV4, your Indiana sports station. This is 6 News at 10 with Clyde Lee, Diane Willis, weather with meteorologist Bob McLain, and Ed Sorensen on sports.
Good evening, everyone. Clyde is on assignment tonight. After 20 years in Congress, Democrat Phil Sharp of Muncie announced his retirement today from Capitol Hill. The 2nd District Congressman's decision comes as a surprise to everyone in political circles. And as Channel 6's Jim Parsons reports, it also leaves Democratic Party leaders in a bit of a bind.
That I will not be running for re-election this year.
And with that, the former Ball State professor who fought off fierce battles with Republicans every 2 years since 1974 called it quits today. This was the only explanation.
My family, like many congressional families, has borne an unfair share of the burdens of public service and have received fewer of the satisfactions than I have. And my wife and 2 sons certainly deserve my thanks.
The news shocked Sharp's Hoosier colleagues. Some were saddened.
I know a few people on earth who are any more civil, any more thoughtful or kind or just plain decent than Phil Sharp.
And others viewed it as an opportunity.
It's very encouraging to me because I think we have a real chance to win the 2nd District, the Republican Party.
One of 4 Republican candidates already running in the 2nd Congressional District is State Auditor Ann DeVore.
We'll have to, sit back and reflect on this. It's not going to change our focus.
But it will dramatically change the dynamics of the race. Already there is talk of which Democrats will try to succeed Sharp. One name being mentioned is Anderson Mayor Mark Lawler, who this week dropped out of a U.S. Senate primary. The Democratic chairman of the 2nd Congressional District just wishes he had more time. Sharp's announcement today comes just 2 weeks before the filing deadline.
Timing is everything in politics, and I would have preferred personally a little more advance notice, but that's political. He had to make a personal decision.
Whatever his reasons, Phil Sharp will be missed by Democratic Party leaders who could always count on the 2nd District as one of theirs. Now, it's wide open. In Muncie, Jim Parsons, 6 News.
And prospective candidates have until February 18th to file for Sharp's seat. Choice and opportunity, key words that Mayor Steve Goldsmith brought up tonight in his State of the City address. While the mayor talked about the positive changes in the economy and in fighting crime, he also focused on education. After citing figures on the rising school taxes and the declining number of students, the mayor talked about what we can do. He suggested educational alternatives such as community schools and schools where teachers, parents, and the students themselves make choices about their futures.
We're not talking about private schools. We're talking about public school choice, where kids and their parents can choose. And we have to insist that we hold the line on taxes and we increase the line on quality in terms of education.
Tonight's meeting was held at the Golden Rule Insurance Company, which pays for a group of needy Indianapolis students to attend private schools. Today was the final day for developers to apply for casino gambling licenses in the 7 communities which passed the referendums last fall. An even 50 made it under the wire. 11 firms have applied in Lawrenceburg. The Dearborn County city is a hot location because it is right next to the big Cincinnati market. One firm, Empire Casinos, delivered its application with a live band accompanied by former U.S. Senator Vance Hartke. It will be several months, though, before the local leaders recommend a company to get the license. That choice must then be ratified by the State Gambling Commission. Race relations, one of the crucial issues facing Indianapolis, according to the polls. And tonight, nearly 500 people shared ways in which to improve understanding between blacks and whites at a forum at Indiana Vocational Technical College. Former Deputy Mayor Paula Parker Sawyers and Clyde Lee moderated the open mic and work sessions which followed. Participants say overcoming racism will take a lot of hard work, including in the schools.
Not only our children, but also Caucasian children can be taught the history that is part of this country. We've run into brick walls, we've run into challenges. We should not have to fight, and we should not have to challenge a system to get them to teach our children the history that's part of this country.
The next Race Relations Forum will be Saturday morning, February 12th at 9:30 at Arlington High School. Well, a slight improvement in our temperature today. It's not going to last, though. That's the bad news. More cold air is on the way. Bob's forecast and all the answers coming up. Well, poor Punxsutawney Phil. We hope that he's sleeping well tonight because he didn't get much sleep this morning.
Well, he's got another 364 days to kind of gear up. That's right. For the next escapade, this was the scene in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Bright and early this morning, they dragged that poor thing out of the burrow there to see if it could see its shadow, and it did. So that means, at least according to the legend, that there will be 6 more weeks of winter weather. Well, we can certainly say that in the near future that'll be the case. Here's our current conditions. 31 degrees, humidity 63%, winds southwest at 18, gusting to 25, and the barometer is falling. Today's high was 32, and the low this morning was 11 above. There's your times of sunrise and sunset for February 3rd. Now, there is some more cold air approaching, but the heart of the cold air will move eastward just north of Indiana, and in fact by tomorrow afternoon and evening winds will come around into a southwesterly direction, so that'll reduce the fall of any temperature with this next influx of cold air. And the pattern looks like it will stay with below normal temperatures with the exception of the next couple of days, and basically fairly dry. So for tonight there'll be a few patches of flurries with some cloudiness, and by morning temperatures into the low to mid-teens. For Thursday, varying amounts of cloudiness, will be a bit cooler, highs mid-20s to about 30. Then we'll warm up a few more degrees for Friday, so at least we're going in the right direction. Highs in the low to mid-30s with some spotty sunshine. Still not too bad Saturday, but then a sort of a reinforcing surge of cold air comes down for Sunday and Monday, and as you can see, by Sunday morning and Monday morning, temperatures will be again below zero, so at least in the short term, later this weekend, Punxsutawney Phil looks like he's called the shot.
Poor old groundhog called it, huh? Washington Redskins have a new coach tonight. Ed has details on that and a whole lot more straight ahead in sports.
How could a guy from Dallas ever...
On Thursday, February 3rd, you'll understand why people are saying things like,
I always come to Lowe's.
how is the selection?
Got a big selection.
How is the service?
It's very easy to find someone, and they're all willing to help.
What brings you back?
It's a store that I like and enjoy coming back to because the people are friendly.
So it's good?
Lowe's is terrific. The people and the selections just make it terrific.
On Thursday, February 3rd, Indianapolis's home improvement centers will change the way you shop for home improvement forever.
Let's check sports quickly. How about those Indiana Pacers? They scored 80 points. That's right, 80 points in the first half tonight in Charlotte. And they went on to cruise to a 124-112 victory. Their third straight. These guys own the Hornets. They beat them all 5 times. They played them last year. They're now 19-23. They got the T-Wolves coming in here on Friday night. Then the Hornets are here on Saturday night. Reggie Miller led a balanced scoring attack for the Pacers tonight with 25. Rick Smits, another good game tonight with 23 points and 7 boards, but 80 points in the first half tonight for the Pacers in Charlotte en route to a 124-112 12-point win over the Charlotte Hornets. There's a great event that's going to happen in late November this year at the Palace of Auburn Hills, which is normally thought of as an NBA facility. That, of course, is the home arena for the Detroit Pistons. But November 29th and 30th, whatever final 8 teams remain in the NCAA tournament this year will play 2 days, 2 doubleheaders. It's going to be called the Great 8, November 29th and 30th in Pontiac.
I'm not here because I expect to be in the field next year. I'm here because Jalen called practice off today.
Steve Fisher could be there. By the way, that is not Pontiac, of course, but Auburn Hills, where the Palace is located. As expected, Norv Turner, one-time quarterback at my alma mater, the University of Oregon, and the offensive coordinator for the Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys, has been named the new head coach of Dallas's arch rivals, the Washington Redskins. The 41-year-old Turner takes over following a 4-12 season, the Skins' worst in 30 years. That led to the firing of Richie Pettibone. Turner is expected to fire ex-Colts head coach Rod Dowhauer, who had been the Skins' offensive coordinator. Here's the new chief of the Redskins.
I've had people in Dallas and people here say, how could a guy from Dallas ever go to Washington? I had a chance last week with the Super Bowl to sit and talk with Joe Theismann, sit and talk with Sonny Jurgensen. They didn't seem to be concerned about my Dallas background. I don't think anyone else will be.
I know all you folks, we don't have time to talk about the signing right now. I just want to update you folks on a couple of basketball games. I know you all just watched the IU-Ohio State game here on TTV4. IU won the game 87-83 in overtime. They're now tied with Michigan, both teams 6-2 at the top of the Big Ten standings. We'll have all kinds of highlights and live reaction from Bloomington coming up on Sports 11. And a huge upset in high school basketball tonight. Just got the call. Carmel, 56, top-ranked Ben Davis, 50. At Hinkle tonight, the Greyhounds stun the Giant
Tough
Killers,
game.
you could call them. Yeah.
Good night from all of us here. Have a good day tomorrow.
Stay tuned for Rescue 911 next here on TTV4.